Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. Today, we are doing an episode all about feminine and masculine energy and how balancing the two can actually help to speed up your hormone healing. So, whether you are struggling with your thyroid, your periods, your skin, even things like thyroid hormone, adrenals, they all incorporate hormones. So, I'm not just talking about women's period problems and things. And I've been waiting for the right time to record this episode, and I finally feel ready to share my experience, what I've learned about myself over the past few years now. It is not something that I have mastered at all, getting into my feminine energy, because my default was more masculine, which it is for a lot of women these days. But I do really see a difference now over the past few months specifically, and it's been such a big thing that I've had to work on. It will probably be an ongoing thing that I'll need to work on. I was naturally more in my masculine energy because that was how we are taught, a lot of us in the modern world. Maybe you were even influenced by family members, especially the women in your family, like I had been as well. And I think it is the default, unfortunately, for a lot of women. But there has been a big shift over the years, and just on social media, I see it on TikTok and Instagram. Women are wanting change now. It kind of swung too far the other way, where initially feminism was created for equality, which in first world country these days we have pretty much got across all areas. It's not perfect. Even in healthcare, medical care, there's still an issue with women being less likely to be believed of their symptoms over men, and even worse so if you're a person of color. But yeah, very sad. But in terms of like being able to vote, there are like a lot of equalities. And then women swung the other way, where they were like, it is bad to want to be a stay-at-home mum or to be a homemaker and stay at home, support your husband. It is the goal to be a girl boss, build an empire, climb the corporate ladder, hustle all day, every day, shutting down your hormones and feminine fluctuations with birth control pills. Many of us became like just small men in that process, but it can be so damaging to our nervous system and our hormone health. We can achieve so much and we can do the majority of things that men can. Plus, we have the superpower of multitasking, but that's not always a great thing either. But we shouldn't have to do all of the things. Back in the day, we would have had a tribe. If you're a mother, there would have been a tribe and community of women all supporting each other. But these days, we are expected to work and be the primary house cleaner and the childcare, like mainly like the person in charge of childcare, and it all defaults to the woman still. But our genetics haven't caught up. One of the factors contributing to the rise of hormone disorders, adrenal burnout, gut issues, and mineral imbalances, I believe, not only is it the food quality and the high levels of antibiotics and environmental toxins, it's this feminine masculine energy imbalance. If you have PCOS specifically, I've always noticed it typically affects women who are more in their masculine energy, myself included. Type A, driven, control freaks, love a plan, love organization. And these aren't always bad qualities, but if they're out of balance with the feminine energy, it can contribute to poor health and just a feeling like something's not right, unhappiness. It can affect all areas of life, not just health, but also your relationships and work. I've had a few guests on over the years talking about feminine energy before, so definitely check those out. I'll link them in the show notes, but I've had Monica Yates, episode 111, Olivia Marie, episode 171, and more recently Helen J, episode 179. But in today's episode, I'm going to be sharing my take on it, and it might be a little bit different, especially at the end. You definitely want to tune into that. How I've managed to shift my energy and what I've had to work through, and how I can now, the majority of the time, be in my feminine, and then some ways that you can start working on this for yourself, depending on what level of support you're needing. So I thought it'd be helpful to share an overview of feminine and masculine energy, what exactly I mean if this is brand new to you. So we all have both, and we can be more dominant in one energy at a time. So when I am working with clients, for example, when I'm teaching, when I'm supporting them, I am naturally more in my masculine energy. And there is a balance because me caring and supporting people can also be considered feminine. But on my work calls, when I'm doing my spreadsheets and things, I tend to be more in my masculine. And then when I'm writing Instagram posts and doing more like creative things, that tends to be more feminine. So you can definitely flip between the two. But in relationships, let's take a heterosexual relationship, a man and a woman, for example, there needs to be some sort of polarity in that relationship for it to work well long term. For there to be a spark, attraction, and real deep long-term happiness. Imagine the yin-yang symbol. There's the main black area with a dot of white and vice versa. So this is like the male having a touch of feminine energy, or the masculine having a touch of feminine, and a woman or the feminine having a touch of masculine that they can tap into when needed. It's all about balance. There are a subset of women who are naturally more in their masculine energy at the core, and it's their main default energy, and that's healthy for them. But I'd say it's probably less than 20%. It was my guest Monica Yates who said that the way to know if you're naturally a feminine energy core woman is if at the end of the day your truest and deepest desire is love and connection. For men, it's freedom and purpose. Plus, you'd love nothing more than to just be looked after and cared for by a man. This sounds like an absolute yes from me. Not to say that I wouldn't work in a relationship, I definitely want that, but I don't want there to be two masculine energies because that is just going to butt heads and clash. Or if there was two feminine energies, that's just going to lead to nothing really getting done. I have been more in the masculine in a previous relationship, and even at times with my current partner, like in the early stages, I've definitely had to pull back on the control or the one taking charge, and now I leave it up to him in a lot of ways, but it's so easily done. There are also healthy and unhealthy, or if we want to say healed or unhealed versions of each one. So I'll give you some examples now, but imagine a nice balance of the two being like in nature, a river. The riverbed is the structure. It's the masculine framework to hold the water, the flowing water, which would be the feminine. Or the sun would be considered the masculine, the moon would be the feminine. They're both great, they both have benefits, they work together. Hopefully that makes sense if this is a new concept for you. But there's also unhealed versions. So an unhealed masculine energy would be dominating, controlling, aggressive, dismissive, distant, excessive focus on success, power, ego-driven behavior, lack of empathy, lack of compassion. Whereas a healed masculine would have the traits of being protective, supportive, grounded, decisive, action-orientated, responsible. They inspire through integrity and authenticity. And then for women, the female, sorry, unhealed feminine energy can be overly passive, submissive, people-pleasing, manipulative, over-emotional, reactive, ungrounded, victim mentality, codependency, or fear of change. And then the healed feminine would be intuitive, nurturing, creative, expressive, practices self-love and inner trust, fosters connection, collaboration, inclusivity, compassionate while maintaining boundaries. You might resonate with a few from all different categories. That's completely normal. But if you have multiple in one area, it could be that you have some work to do. So big takeaway and reminder that this is not about genders. You could be in a homosexual relationship, but the individual is going to have a balance between masculine and feminine energy, so it's nothing to do with your gender. But what I've learned from this world is that embracing your feminine energy is way more than just wearing dresses, quitting a job to lay around on a farm all day baking sourdough, which seems to be the trend of this like trad housewife resurgence. And people are like swinging again to like, okay, I enjoyed my girl boss era, but now I'm burnt out and I just want to like do nothing. But do you really want to do nothing? Or is it just that you need some time to yourself and you need a bit more balance? A lot of embracing your feminine energy, and it's not even like boosting your feminine energy, it's often just returning back to your feminine energy if you resonate with that core feminine. It's actually about feeling safe with the masculine. This could be about your relationship with your father. This is a big thing because he is your representation a lot of the time of the masculine. So whether he was absent, abusive, emotionally shut down, or the most loving, supportive guy in the world, this will play a big role of your relationship and your perspective on the masculine overall. Or it could be that you are lacking masculine structure in your life at the moment, and therefore your nervous system feels unsafe to let go. You might be between jobs, you might feel overworked, you're trying to do it all with little support at the moment. You just going to take a bubble bath in the afternoon to relax into your feminine isn't going to be that effective if the whole time you're just like, you're so lazy, you could be cleaning right now. I mean, these little tools can be helpful, like slowing down, putting more effort into your appearance, wearing a nice body oil, dancing. These are all tools that can support the feminine energy, but I see them as like being cherries on top of the cake. Like with health, all the gadgets and gizmos aren't going to help if you haven't fixed the underlying reason for your default state being the masculine in the masculine energy. I just want to take a quick pause to ask you a really important question. Where do you want your health to be in 6 months' time? More energized, feeling comfortable in your skin and body again, excited for life because you're finally starting to see improvements with your health, or frustrated and depressed because you're still struggling with symptoms, which are taking over your life and stopping you from living life to the full. If you want the first option, you're going to have to do something different. After all, the definition of insanity is doing the same things over again and expecting a different result. If you're DIYing your health, meaning trying to heal yourself through researching, trial and error, wasting a lot of money and time in the process, then you could be sabotaging your results. Would you try and fix your car if it broke and you didn't know what was wrong with it? No. So why are you trying to do it all alone when it comes to the most important thing that we have in our life, our health? Trust me, actually asking for help and investing in yourself saves you time, money, and a lot of stress in the long run. I know you're probably not getting any answers or support from your doctor. I've been there too. That's why I created my 6-month signature hormone reset package. This one-to-one coaching package offers the highest level of support and transformation as we'd be closely working together to identify and address the underlying root causes of your health issues. Even if you're already eating healthy and taking supplements, there's so much more to healing, so don't feel like you've tried it all. Let me help you figure out what's causing your stubborn symptoms and support your body in healing naturally, which, in case no one has ever told you, is completely possible. Check out my website, which is linked in the episode show notes for more information, and the links to apply or book an enrollment call are there if you want to chat further. If you've been looking for a sign, this is it. And wait, this is also the perfect time to sign up because my current Black Friday offer means that you'll receive a complimentary GI map stool test and detailed interpretation when you sign up to Hormone Reset before the 20th of December 2024. This is my favorite comprehensive stool test that gave me and so many of my clients answers. Gut health is integral for overall health, so even if you aren't struggling with any digestive symptoms, this will still be super helpful. I've actually found that some of the worst stool tests that I've seen actually come from people with the least digestive issues, and instead they struggle with anxiety, depression, acne, period problems, weight gain, fatigue, and so on. If you want to get started as soon as possible, I currently have space for one new client to begin the 6-month journey before Christmas. Otherwise, you can get started with the sessions in January 2025. This means there are actually 2 tests included in this package at the moment, this stool test plus the hair tissue mineral analysis. So combined, this is close to a value of £1,000 in functional lab testing included, along with the general one-to-one sessions, email support, client community, and Hormone Reset library, which now has around 30 hours of content in there for you to binge. Don't miss this offer, and if you want to chat further, I have temporarily made enrollment calls free of charge. So let's hop on a 30-minute call to discuss your current symptoms, your health goals, and how I could help you to achieve them. Don't forget, you only have until the 20th of December to claim this offer, and I do have limited kits available to send out. You can find all the links you need in the show notes or description. I feel like in my life, I was probably influenced in a few ways. The women on my mum's side of the family, because she's the representation of the feminine in your life, the women were always quite strong. So my mum, my nan, my grandma, and my mum would always go above and beyond to make sure everyone else was happy before she took care of herself. Plus, my grandma was quite religious and she raised my mum. So things around sexual energy, periods, dating, even women suppressing the feminine energy through the clothes that they wore or behavior that they had was always shamed. And this filtered down to me too. So to me, it felt like wanting to be a housewife, which I don't, or wearing cute dresses for the hell of it, having periods was not something that was celebrated. My parents were never pushy with school or career, fortunately, but I did feel like I thought I would earn my dad's love when I did well at school, but especially even later at college when I studied nutrition and set up my business. And he even admitted recently that he missed out on quite a bit of my childhood when I was younger because he works a lot to provide, which is amazing. But I think that's led to me subconsciously being more driven work-wise to please him. This is very deep reflections here, guys. We're getting very personal, but I just thought I'd share to just be open. And I feel like this affects a lot of different people. And I always kind of sense like, why do I have this drive? And again, there's benefits to it, but when my dad said that, I kind of like, yes, I didn't really remember that happening, but I think it just became the norm. And it was then exacerbated when I set up my business and was going through my health journey simultaneously around age like 18 to 24-ish was the worst because I felt like I was solely responsible for everything. I was seeking help from doctors initially for health stuff and just got dismissed, told everything was normal, there was nothing more that they could do. Plus, then I did work with a few holistic practitioners and I just didn't think that it was thorough enough. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm just going to have to figure it all out alone then, which I did. And I celebrate that because I eventually it paid off, but it kind of created the belief that I have to be in control all the time. We don't want to, yeah, demonize these traits, but I just don't think it would be sustainable for me to continue in that way. And in recent years, since I've deepened my spiritual journey, I now see the universe as that masculine energy that constantly supports, holds, and guides me. For you, it might be God, angels, whatever you resonate with. But I think that's why having faith in a higher power can be so important on the healing journey and why many people do turn to God during difficult times. It makes so much sense now. Then it becomes a process of co-creation. So I still need to go out there and do some of the physical action. I can't just sit around all day and think my way to achieve certain things. But there is something else that is helping it all come together, and it's not all down to me. Having proper structure and practices in place with my business has also been key for success and preventing me from burning out because I've always said my health is number one. I will never put my business over my health because I've worked so hard to get my health into a good place now. I wasn't doing that for a few years with having proper structure and practices in place, and it didn't lead to burnout. I nipped it in the bud before that was to happen, but it would leave me feeling overwhelmed at times. And the systems, automation, and support that I've set up now allows my nervous system to relax day to day because that is the masculine structure. I know what needs to be done and when so that I can tap into my creativity or have more energy to give to clients during group calls and coaching sessions. So there's just less brain space being taken up. This is part of the content I'm going to be sharing inside my brand new practitioner mentoring program coming January 2025. Module 1 is going to be all about the business foundations to create that masculine structure like I've done. Module 2 is then going deeper into the energetics and the feminine side with money mindset mastery, money mindset, how to handle challenges that come up with clients, how to create proper boundaries, energetic protection. Module 3 is then designed to help you get even better clients results with advanced recommendations for conditions like mold toxicity, leaky gut, PCOS, and you better believe that I'm talking about the energetic connection with these conditions too. If you are someone who wants to and can run functional labs and you want to understand more about functional lab testing and how that can get you even better results with your clients, get them some answers, then there is an option to upgrade and do an extra bonus month. So it would be a 4-month program instead of 3 with the VIP upgrade option. So you would learn more about HCMA mineral testing, GI map stool test, organic acid urine testing, and the Dutch Complete, which is a hormone adrenal panel. I'm going to put the link to read more about this program in the show notes, but this is going to be perfect for you if you're a student or practicing healthcare professional, nutritional therapist, health coach. If you're not sure about your unique certification, just let me know. And you're wanting to fast track your success in business, saving yourself a ton of time and costly mistakes, plus provide your clients with amazing transformations so that they become raving fans, leaving you with tons of testimonials and referrals. Bit of a side tangent, but I do have a few health professionals tuning into the show, and I wanted to make you aware of this brand new offer that's starting very soon. The first round in January, starting mid-January, is going to be the smallest group, the lowest price offer that it ever will be, and any future updates, upgrades, you're going to get automatic access to, as well as the founding members. You can book in for a free 30-minute call if you're interested in this, but back to feminine, masculine energy. I now specifically want to talk about the connection to your health as a woman. When your default is your masculine energy, this can stimulate the production of stress hormones like cortisol and masculinizing hormones that we all have to a certain level, like testosterone, but just in excess, because the body doesn't feel safe. And it's probably not the ideal state for your feminine core self to be spending a lot of your time in. So it really does come down to the effect that it has on stress and safety to your nervous system. Then think of all of the imbalances that can stem from that state of nervous system dysregulation. Literally, there's no body system that isn't affected. The gut, immune system, skin, hormones, detox, literally everything. You being disconnected from your feminine energy. So it could either be that you're too much in your masculine or just not enough in your feminine, or a little bit of both. But you being disconnected from your feminine energy and not tapping into that power and that state is also an unnatural state for you to be in and can contribute to dis-ease in the body. The body is an energetic electrical system. It's not just about the physical food and supplements and nutrient levels. Energy is just as, if not more important, in my opinion. Certain energy centers in the body can be associated with different emotions and imbalances. So the sacral chakra is located in the lower abdomen, the pelvic area, and you not tapping into your feminine energy, especially if you have any kind of shame or anger towards this, can create imbalance in this area. Remember that these things can also be passed down. So you might not have any specific memories or conscious reason to feel this way, but if you have signs, it could be a generational trauma or pattern that can affect up to 7 generations. Emotional-wise, a blocked sacral chakra can cause feelings of detachment, isolation, anxiety, loneliness, and low libido. You might also have difficulty expressing your emotions, your need, your creativity. In relationships, it can make you feel like it's difficult to trust others. It can lead to a fear of intimacy or jealousy. Creativity-wise, a blocked sacral chakra can make it difficult to find inspiration. And on a physical level, it can contribute to painful or irregular periods, missing periods, endometriosis, PCOS, infertility, fibroids, ovarian cysts, PMS, acne, but even things like, outside of the hormone situation, anxiety, lower back pain, joint problems, and fatigue. So in terms of the solution, it's going to depend on your unique situation. If you have a history of a lot of sexual abuse, or you were raised by a father who was a narcissist, who abandon you, you might need to embark on a deeper healing journey and deeper therapies to work through these things. I personally recommend somatic therapy because this incorporates the body into the healing, which is where a lot of the energy and imbalance is stored. Whereas if you feel like you have things like shame around your periods, femininity, you were raised by a mother who was just typically in her masculine energy, and you've just got used to that over the years. You've worked in the corporate world and you've just been doing it all on your own for a long time. You might be able to start processing this stuff on your own. It is always best to work with someone because we can't fully see our own shadows, but journaling work, meditation, working through limiting beliefs, EFT tapping can all help to remove these current beliefs and create new ones. Inside my one-to-one hormone reset package, you get access to a bonus resource library, currently with close to 30 hours of content inside, and there's a lot on mindset and support with these things to help you guide yourself through between the one-to-one sessions that we have too, so you get both. And you can definitely check that out if you are wanting to spend the next 6 months together transforming your body and health on a physical and energetic level. It is a great time to join too because there's currently a Black Friday bonus up for grabs. It means that when you join this one-to-one signature package before the 20th of December 2024, you're going to receive a complimentary GI map stool test, which is one of my favorite lab tests, which is in addition to the already included hair tissue mineral analysis. So there's around 1,000 pounds worth of value of functional labs and interpretation included right now. So good. Do not miss this. And if you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. Back to feminine energy again, last tangent of the day, but it works the other way around too. So when I was saying I have a bit of a different perspective on this is what I'm saying, and I've shared it before with nervous system regulation, because there's a lot of practitioners who will say it's all just about the mindset shifts, the somatic work, but even on this feminine masculine energy balance, it can be a two-way street. Definitely behavior, emotions, suppressed trauma can affect the energy that you're in. But if you're someone who has a physical imbalance that's driving high cortisol, high adrenaline, high testosterone, or even low progesterone, low estrogen, definitely if you're on the birth control pill, because of the changes that it makes to your natural hormones, it shuts them down, and then you're running off this more like standard level all day, every day. These things also shift your energy because of the hormone connection, and that impacts brain function, sex drive, motivation, stress resilience. So this is why I help clients to address things from both sides. You can't just do one. If you're currently, in the name of health, doing cold plunges, drinking bulletproof coffee, doing fasted workouts, skipping breakfast, waking up at 5 a.m. every morning, getting straight into work, these are all more masculine actions that female hormones don't typically thrive on. Anything that increases your stress is going to lower progesterone, which is the female hormone. The goal is to boost this hormone, which takes a holistic approach and patience, not just a Vitex supplement, by the way. You will automatically feel more relaxed, more safe, more resilient, at home in your body, more intuitive when your progesterone levels are thriving and when your hormones are in balance. So please don't forget about this side of things. I really hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you love me talking about this subject and want me to share more about my experience, what's helped in my own life, even deeper chats about what I've worked through personally, I would love to know. Your feedback is really important and I want to know which subjects interest you. Thank you so much for listening. Be sure to share this on your stories if it resonated, or send it to a loved one who might need to hear this information. Thanks for listening. I really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, I would love for you to leave me a rating and review on your podcast app, as this helps to support the show and it allows it to reach more people with this valuable information. Come and say hi over on Instagram. I'm at Viva Natural Health. And if you haven't already, check out my website, vivanaturalhealth.co.uk, for tons more free resources and to discover how I could support you further. I currently offer one-on-one consultation packages if you want my top level support. then more affordable group programs and self-paced online courses. So there really is something for everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you back here next week for another episode.